And many stories will be told in the coming years about 2020 and 2021. This pandemic is a time of fierce challenges, loss and sadness. But we must not let it go down in the annals as a time of unfairness and inequality. Imagine how we will be judged by future generations if we do not help the very people who put their lives at risk for our sake and theirs. Instead, we turned our backs and refused to help them with a small financial reward and suspended placements. This is what the government is doing by failing to pay student nurses and midwives. It is entirely unacceptable. The 18 students on placement in my own Wexford General Hospital and the other 4,000 deserve better. Throughout this pandemic, student nurses and midwives have been working hard and tirelessly every day to protect our families and communities from COVID-19, while coping with a healthcare hampered from years and years of austerity cuts. These problems are down to chronic underinvestment that began long before this pandemic and illustrates the type of pressured environment our student nurses, midwives and radiographers are coping under. It's no wonder we have a recruitment and retention crisis, and why so many of our young nurses and midwives emigrate to Australia, New Zealand and Canada. Let's remember too those on the front line who have paid the ultimate price. Only this week we have had a death of a nurse in County Wexford from COVID-19. Our thoughts are first and foremost with his wife and young child. We cannot imagine the grief they're going through. Anyone who took the time to read the way he was spoken about in the local media reports will see he was a much loved and respected family man. We cannot lose sight of what our people are facing out there and the truly unimaginable sufferings and loss. This is why we are putting forward David Cullinan's motion today. The public are ahead of the government. They are calling for our student nurses and midwives who are giving everything they have in this most unequal contest to be paid for their work. It is not too late for you to change the chartered course so that we can look back and say that at least we properly paid those on the front line for their personal sacrifices they made to protect us all. Don't forget, Minister, we will all be remembered by the tracks we leave behind. I urge all deputies, including my deputies from Wexford and in this House, to support this motion.